You may want, your mother has deteriorated extremely. You may want to come and see her.
Okay.
Now, this was the day after the care committee said she was stable. That same day, he called up the nursing home, reduced her long-acting insulin by 66%.
Wow.
There's no way, as an endocrinologist, he could not know what effect that would have.
Well, Victor Corbett, as I understand it, is the most renowned endocrinologist in
Oh,
the Twin
gosh,
Cities.
yes.
He's especially
He's a murderer, too.
Especially diabetes
Yeah.
specialist.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be the best diabetes specialist, and he was extremely clever. Dr. Murphy said, actually, Dr. Murphy wrote to one of my attorneys who was having some problem with denial that people did this, or ostensibly, if that was the problem, and he said, "This is sly medical murder, Mr. Reed. This is not a mistake. This is not, you know, difficult to understand. It's very simple. Her body needed the insulin. She's dependent on it. She doesn't make it, and if she doesn't get enough of it, she's going to die. It's very simple, Mr.
And it took her
Reed."
about a month to...
Here's the connection to
It took about a month, yes.
the various officials involved. Now, when the nurses got this order to reduce the insulin, they immediately called Dr. Corbett's office back and said, "Can this be for real?" And they said yes. They called back again and asked if that's correct. They said yes. So her insulin was cut. The nurses don't really have a lot of choice in this. They have to follow the doctor's orders.
Right.
But they documented everything. They measured her blood sugar level. Normal blood sugar is between 60 and 120. By noon, her blood sugar was 250. By 2 days later, it was 450. And at that time, it went off the scale, and they just wrote HHH for high, high, high. It was right off the scale.
It's actually
Okay.
high, hot, and a hell of a lot. That's what it actually says in the book of abbreviations.
Now, here's
High,
where
hot,
the
and a hell of a lot.
tie-in is. Now, if you're a nurse in a nursing home and this stinks to you, what do? You call the county and report patient abuse.
Yeah.
The county contacts the caseworker who investigates. The caseworker is Ken Reichstadt, who's part of this scam.
Okay.
So is he going to go down there and investigate? Heck no, it's his idea, right? It's part of this whole deal that's going on.
And he actually was there a week after.
Oh, I've got one for that there.
Okay.
So, in any case, on October 27th, by that time, Jane DeShane is completely off her rocker from the blood sugar. She's got ketoacidosis. She's got acetone breath that could fell an ox from 10 feet practically. That's a little bit of an exaggeration,
Wow.
but it's very obvious. The nursing home staff stuck her on a social services bus, sent her over to Corbett's office. So he saw her. There's no way, as an endocrinologist, it's completely ridiculous to think that he wouldn't notice the symptoms.
Yeah, he saw her.
And the referral
But
even
she
says
was
her,
there
yeah.
not to be treated, but to sign more legal documents because Roger Krause and Bessie Krause were there also.
Yeah.
So,
No, they
but
weren't
he-
there, but they had rented the house out. So
Well,
they wanted to say that.
in any case, they sent.
We
they
got
then-
4 minutes to wind this up. I know we got
Okay,
more.
they
to-
sent her.
yeah.
They sent her back to the nursing home, and Corbett did make a change in her orders. He ordered, "Do not resuscitate, do not hospitalize." And on
that- yeah.
November 19th, she died.
But it took a long
And
time.
she could have been saved within
Oh, yeah,
2 hours
of death.
of her death,
Of her
Right.
death.
with
And- right.
with proper amount of insulin.
And she had special beds. She was urinating so much. And I have a brief from the entire. I'm in federal court over this. I've sued. Actually, when after death, I had ordered an autopsy way before death because it was overnight she changed. And I actually called the social worker Reichstadt and begged him to leave her alone. He was there a week after her insulin was taken away, and she was in very bad shape. He was in contact with the nurses, and he was writing a memo that this nurse who actually worked there and who was the mother-in-law of my other cousin on my father's side of the family, who was a nurse, saying that she might blow the whistle.
He was
So
looking for
that's
the leak. He
incredible.
wanted
was
to know
looking-
how she found out what was going on.
I see.
And he was also trying to make sure that nobody blew the whistle on him.
Right.
So he said this person, and that was taken out of the vulnerable adult file later, but I did get that.
Now picture this. He's in over his head. Now, he's a county social worker. The county has the responsibility to supervise him. The county attorney has the responsibility to supervise him.
And the coroner, yeah.
They're exposing the county to massive civil liability. So what happens? This becomes a murder. It starts coming to light. What does the county attorney do? Does he want Dakota County exposed to civil liability?
No.
Heck no. He buries it. And that's just what James Backstrom has done. He's
And I had
buried
ordered
this
the-
case, or
I had
tried
ordered
to.
the
Yeah.
autopsy way before this, before she died, and the body was embalmed before autopsy, which is illegal. and so all the blood was taken out, so so that
wouldn't be able to
the ketones, you can tell the ketones are in the blood, and so this, and I'm suing right now. I'm in the 8th Circuit Court of Appeal. I'm in federal court. I've sued Dakota County. I've sued James Baxter. I've sued Dr. John Plunkett, and I still have harassment from the police. The police involved in this. I still go through quite a bit.
Well, you got, as I understand, you got neighbors complained. You got this big Rottweiler. I've met Jake, and the neighbors complained about some things that dogs normally do outside, as I understand. And the police came and took your license, your driver's license.
You know what they did is that they gave me a citation for he pooped in the kennel in the backyard, in my yard, in a kennel. And this was in November. It was 10 below zero.
What a note
I
to
got
end
a
the show on, right?
citation for dog poop in the kennel or something.
Yeah.
And then they took my driving license away. So we all have a joke that it's certainly a moving violation.
It's a moving violation. We've got just a little over a minute, and I just want to say that for the good folks out there who think that they have a situation that is similar or is starting to look similar to yours, we want you to get in touch with Mary Jane with Diabetics Disabled Anonymous, and your phone number and address and all that's going to be there at the end of the show.
And one more thing, we do a fundraiser once a month. We have several people who are very spiritually oriented, who do spiritual counseling, astrology, various types of readings with cards and various things, healings, and they all donate their time. We're at the Blair Cafe the 3rd Saturday and Sunday of each month, between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m.
That's in St. Paul?
In St. Paul. It's
Okay.
on the corner of Western and Selby.
Okay.
So come and see us. We're upstairs behind the counter in a little balcony. Come and see us.
Warren, thanks a lot. We didn't get a lot of word in edgewise there, but I appreciate you being here. Roxanne, God bless you. Thank you. Mary Jane,
Thank
God
you.
bless you, and may the memory of your mother live on in this case. We're going to do something about this, folks. So you get in touch with Mary Jane, and we'll go from there.
Indeed. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The tip they have seen in our marine. Let the foe get the message loud and clear. In the ones who fight for us there is no fear, and the iceberg has hardly yet been seen. 'Tis the tip they have seen in our marine. Oh, let the foe get the message loud and clear. In the ones who fight for us there is no fear, and the iceberg has hardly yet been seen. 'Tis the tip they have seen in our marine. 'Tis the tip they have seen in our marine.